At the end of the last episode, we went through a daily account of the Chino Hills murder investigation, as well as an accusation lodged against possible suspect Kevin Cooper, whereby he allegedly raped a woman at knife point on a boat around 2 months after the murders. Though he had been detained, there are disagreements regarding his guilt. The evidence used to convict Cooper included the following. A khaki green button, identical to the buttons on CIM jackets, was found in the room where Cooper slept. The button had blood on it, which can have come from either Cooper or the victims. A blood-stained rope was found in the closet of the bedroom used by Cooper. The rope was similar to another rope found in the Ryan driveway, but lacked a center cord. Luminol testing seemed to indicate that there were bloody footprints in the hallway leading to the bedroom that Cooper used, as well as on the walls in the shower in the Lee's house. Hair similar to that of Jessica Ryan was found in the bathroom sink in the Lee's house. A hair removed from the bathroom shower in the Lee's house was similar to the hair of Douglas Ryan. A hatchet that went missing from the Lee's house was very similar to the hatchet found on the side of the road. The said hatchet had blood and hairs on it that were consistent with those of Douglas and Josh Ryan. A sheath was found on the floor near the bedroom where Cooper slept. Buck knives, an 11-inch hunting knife, and ice picks were missing from the Lee's house. The strap from one of the buck knives was found on the floor in the bedroom where Cooper slept. Bloodstain A41 was identified as belonging to Kevin Cooper. Though there are questions regarding the handling of the evidence and whether it was tampered with prior to testing. Pro-Cat tennis shoe prints consistent with the size and pattern of the shoes given to Cooper at CIM were found in the Lee's house and in several parts of the Ryan house. Plant burrs recovered from Jessica Ryan's nightgown were similar to those on a blanket in the closet of the Lee's house and in the Ryan car. These burrs were also similar to the burrs from vegetation between the hideout house and the Ryan house. Roll-Right tobacco, the type Cooper used, which is free to CIM inmates and not available at retail, was found in the Ryan's car and the bedroom that Cooper stayed in. Cigarette butts with Cooper's saliva were found in the Ryan car. Post-conviction DNA testing confirmed that DNA from one of the butts would match 1 in 19 billion, while the other would match 1 in 110 million people. And hair consistent with Cooper's was found in the Ryan car. On Cooper's motion, the court changed the venue of the trial from the San Bernardino County to San Diego County. Cooper pleaded guilty to the charge of escaping from prison. Cooper testified in his own defense. He admitted escaping from CIM, hiding out and sleeping at the Lee's house, but denied committing the murders or being in the Ryan house. Cooper said he left the Lee's house on foot, hitchhiked, stole a purse, and eventually made his way to Mexico. A jury convicted Cooper of 4 counts of first-degree murder, as well as 1 count of attempted murder with the intention to inflict great bodily harm, and then imposed the death penalty. Cooper has continuously denied any involvement in the crimes for more than 30 years. Some arguments supporting his innocence includes the following. Judge Fletcher stated that while a button found in the house came from a green prison jacket, uncontradicted evidence at trial showed that Cooper was wearing a brown or tan prison jacket. Deputy Patrick Welsh would later tell Cooper's defense that he had been asked to acquire a prison-issue jacket and shoes from the prison within a day or 2 of the murders. Judge Fletcher suggested that since the chemical tests used to detect blood also reacted to bleach, and since previous occupants had admitted at trial to cleaning the shower and sink with bleach just prior to vacating, that the supposed blood in the shower and sink could have potentially been from the bleach used by the tenant to clean up. Luminol testing also reacts to coppery substances, as well as plant enzymes and excrement, raising an alternate explanation for the luminol results in the hallway. The witnesses who identified the hatchet as coming from the hideout house only did so after being spoken to by Mary Ann Hughes, the mother of Christopher Hughes. When the defense sought to question witnesses about this during the trial, they were blocked from doing so. The fingerprints of Officer Stephen Moran were recovered from the interior of the closet where Cooper had his sleeping nest, and were determined to have been left the day before the evidence had been officially found. Moran himself would deny ever entering the closet. Judge Fletcher suggested that preservatives found in the blood on the tan t-shirt indicated that it may have been planted. Prosecutors claimed during the trial that a bloody footprint found on the Ryan's bedsheet and another print found on the spa cover outside the Ryan home matched the size and type of Pro-Ked dude sneakers Cooper was issued inside the prison, further claiming that the shoe was distributed solely through prisons and other government institutions like the one Cooper had escaped only 2 days prior to the murder. Cooper's attorneys, however, obtained statements from James Taylor, an inmate who issued Cooper PF Flyer shoes, as well as Mitch Carroll, the former prison warden, who said that the shoes that the prison purchased for the inmates were widely available through public outlets like Sears. In the initial search of the Ryan station wagon, no cigarette butts were found. Judge Fletcher writes, quote, "Some of those cigarette butts could have easily been planted in the car. Moreover, after initial forensic testing, paper from hand-rolled cigarette butts supposedly found in the station wagon was described as consumed. That same paper later reappeared and was offered into evidence. When the paper reappeared, it was significantly larger than the paper in the cigarette butt that had been tested." End quote. Multiple cigarettes recovered from Cooper's hideout were never entered into evidence. The same officers who processed the house, Craig Ogino and David Stockwell, would also be the ones to discover the cigarettes in the car. The tan t-shirt with Cooper's blood on it was not prison-issued, and none of the people in the Lee's house recognized it, despite identifying other items of clothing that Cooper had stolen from the house. The sole survivor, Josh Ryan, indicated with a communication board to a social worker and a deputy in the emergency room that 3 or 4 white men committed the murders. Judge Fletcher stated, quote, "Deputies misinterpreted his recollections and gradually shaped his testimony so that it was consistent with the prosecution's theory that there was only one killer." End quote. Records would show that a second, now missing, blue shirt had been recovered near a bar shortly before the tan shirt presented at trial. One of the state's witnesses admitted that one of the 3 men had been wearing a blue shirt. In spite of this, Judge Huff accepted the state's claim and blocked the defense from pursuing the matter. Donald Gamondoy, a social worker who interviewed Josh prior to police questioning, stated at trial that Josh had not only identified 3 attackers, but specifically stated that they were not Mexican or African American. This contradicts the state's claim that Josh confused there being multiple murderers with his memory of 3 Mexican men that were looking for landscaping work the day before the killing. Blonde hairs were found clutched in Jessica Ryan's hand. Under oath, Dr. Ed Blake conceded that most of the hairs had never been tested. When Judge Huff did order retesting, she limited the testing to hairs that were proven to not have antigen roots, essentially guaranteeing a negative result. Join us again for part 3, where we'll delve further into the case of Kevin Cooper. Until next time.